Like a knife, please don't touch me. Her voice was soft and desperate. My eyes were wide open in the darkness of the bedroom. I lay still listening to my wife breathing beside her. She was still asleep, but her face was grimacing in pain. The bedroom was quiet except for the softness of the ceiling fan. Then I noticed the blankets at the foot of our bed. They were slightly lifted as if someone was gently pulling them up, but there was nothing there. My heart started pounding against my ribs. The movement wasn't from the fan, but too much intent, too much focus on one point. I saw a depression forming in the mattress at the foot of the bed, as if someone was sitting there. The weight was making the whole bed slightly shift. Not stopping, Jenny mumbled, turning her head on the pillow. Her eyes were still closed, but her fingers were clutching the sheets. I wanted to wake her, but my body wouldn't move. My throat felt tight, as if I was being suffocated. The depression in the mattress was deeper than whatever was lying there. Was getting heavier than of. The car passed outside. Its headlights swept across the room through the curtains. For just a second I thought I saw a shadow where there was nothing. There should have been a darker patch of darkness at the foot of our bed, but as the light faded there was nothing to be seen there. Only the duvet was still pulled up in an unnatural way. My hands were shaking as I reached for the bedside lamp. I had to see what was going on, but before I could turn it on, Jenny's whole body stiffened beside me. Out she spoke in her sleep. Her voice was different now, angry instead of scared. This is not your place. You need to leave. The depression in the mattress disappeared. The duvet fell back into place, but the temperature in the room dropped so fast I could see my breath blurring in front of me. Jenny's eyes widened and she sat up gasping. What's wrong? She asked, looking into my face. Your wife is a bed sheet. I told her what had happened. Watching her expression change from confused to fearful as she remembered fragments of her dream. She said she dreamed about her grandmother, not her real grandmother who died when Jenny was in college, but a distorted version. Kept trying to climb into bed with us. We didn't sleep all night. We woke up with all the lights on, drinking coffee and trying to convince ourselves it was just a dream. It affected us both somehow, but we knew it wasn't true. There was something in our room. The next few nights were too quiet, as if something was holding its breath, waiting for Jenny. Started taking sleeping pills to avoid the dreams, but I could tell they weren't working completely. She would startle and mumble in her sleep. Her face was tense. I installed a motion sensor camera at the foot of our bed. The first 2 nights nothing showed up on the footage, but on the third night at exactly 3:47 a.m. the camera's infrared light turned on, detecting movement. The video showed the blankets moving up and down automatically, as if someone was breathing below them. The temperature reading in the corner of the frame dropped from 72 degrees to 45 and below. Over a minute. I didn't show Jenny the footage. She was having sleep problems and I didn't want to make it worse. Instead I started researching. I read everything I could find about sleep paralysis, common dreams and encounters with the supernatural, mostly to no avail. Just stories from people trying to explain their fears, but one story caught my attention. A woman in Oregon described almost exactly what we were experiencing. She said it started after her mother died and the presence would sit on her bed every night at the same time. It never hurt her, but it seemed like it was waiting for something. She finally got rid of it by having a local priest bless her house. I'm not religious, but I was desperate enough to try anything. I called a few churches in our area, finally found an older priest. Listen to my story without judgment. Father Martinez came to our house the next day. He went through each room slowly, sprinkling holy water and saying prayers in Latin. When he got to our bedroom he stopped at the foot of the bed. His hands were shaking as he made the sign of the cross. There was something here, he said softly, something old but not bad. Just sometimes lost souls get confused, especially if they have a strong connection to a place or person in life. That night Jenny had another dream, but this time when she spoke in her sleep her voice was calm. It was okay, she said. I understood. You can go home now. The temperature dropped again, but not as severe as before. I felt a breeze